Hey world, it's Ben. Want to come back with another video, and it's really I just wanted to come back with this video, just give you a little news that I come across that as an empath, it just really amazes me how there is no sense of empathy, and how the psychopaths and the sociopaths that are in power, that run the government, why is it that they are the ones that are viewed as like normal, like virtuous, or like doing what's best for others? These are psychopaths and sociopaths, all right? And until we really get intrinsically, internally a part of the political system where people like ourselves are sitting at the table making decisions that dictate the quality of life for the masses, until we actually ensconce ourselves into this political process, the psychopaths and the sociopaths are going to continue to run this country. Right now in New York, there are dead bodies of alleged coronavirus victims, dead bodies. And it's getting to the point where, and this is what they saying on the television, minutely, not to the masses, because a lot of people don't know this, but in New York right now, if you don't claim a body, a dead body, a family member, a friend, or whatever, if you don't claim that body in 6 days, then New York is going to pretty much bury that body in a temporary grave. If you look at right now, they have across the street, they have dead bodies in tents. Family, that's psychopath. Those are sociopaths. Are you serious? And you don't even know if these victims are coronavirus victims because they haven't done any autopsies. Because it just amazes me that every person that dies today is coronavirus. It don't make sense. Where's the empathy? You've locked over 300 million people in their homes. For what reason? Because we was never locked down for Ebola. We was never locked down for H1N1. We was never locked down for swine flu. We was never locked down for HIV. We was never locked down for tuberculosis. I don't understand it, but I understand it. You dig? Anytime they can say we're quarantining right now. So if it's a person that died in a hospital up there in New York, and the family can't identify the body, can't get up there in 6 days, they're going to put it in a temporary grave? Dude, this is worse than 1984, okay? Because these atrocities are committed under the guise of humanitarianism, when we know there's nothing humanitarian about what's going on right now. I mean, 44% of the golf courses in America are still open. But they close all parks, close all trails, close all water parks where people can actually get out the house. You close all those free, amenities down, but you allow golfers to golf? See, that's a small demographic of people that are allowed to have their exercise or have their favorite activity deemed essential, when everything else is deemed unessential or non-essential. I think just today, Gregory Abbott, the governor of Texas, just said that he's going to shut down all the golf courses this week. That was today. So for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, golfers have had an opportunity to, de-stress themselves, get out and about. So what is this all about, family? We know it's not about them looking at us for us economically, because if you don't know how this economy works, then you'll continue to fall for the same bullshit that's been given to the masses. It's crazy. We give $890 million to the World Health Organization, but we have health problems over here. The Federal Reserve just printed $2.3 trillion this week. Just remember last week, the stimulus package included $2.2 trillion. That's $4.5 trillion that the government and the Treasury and the Federal Reserve have just given to the corporations. But the small businesses that need the money to accommodate their employees having a hard time getting the money, because remember, that's been $4.5 trillion go to banks. Because who's allocating the money? Who's giving the money? Who's giving the money out? The banks. So let's look at this. U.S. corporations, $4.5 trillion. U.S. citizens, $1,200. Somewhat of discrepancy, huh? But they're doing what's best for the American people. I promise you, American people is synonymous to slave, employee. Because anytime you hear them say, I'm doing what's best for the American people, what's best for the American people, just understand that that's code for slave, code for employee. The whole objective right now is to get this economy on the up, not to accommodate the masses. Listen to your president. Once again, until we become intrinsically and internally involved in politics, and we don't get we're not sitting at that table making decisions about the quality of life of the masses, this is going to continue to happen, family. It's heartaching. Because, I mean, when you get the news that a majority of the coronavirus victims, deaths, are quote-unquote minorities, so-called African-Americans, then I wonder how many dead bodies are sitting up there that are African-American that are going to be buried in parks and temporary grave sites in the next 6 days. It's a sad state of affairs, family. Stay conscious. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself with health, wealth, and spirit. The bailout. We bailed out airlines. We bailed out the hotels. We bailed out the corporations. Hasn't been a bailout for the citizens yet. This is the U.S. Corporation of America. All right? And you have a Social Security number that makes you a U.S. employee of this corporation. In the meantime, between time, family, may the Most High inside to bring you joy. Like, share, and subscribe, and being Willie Zadi 5000.